between nasty and slutty?
Slutty is like that's a good question, Steve. Huh. Like slutty is like bring your girl with you, another one of your girls with you, and whatever. Nasty is like is doing blumpkin.
Gross, yeah.
Or mopery. You know what I'm saying? Blumpkin is
nobody know these terms.
Blumpkin is when you getting your dick sucked while you taking the shit. You know what I'm saying? And mopery is exposing yourself, you know what I'm saying, to a blind person. You know what I'm saying? It's everybody, they got their own experience, but they was looking at Cat, but she got on there and she testified. And she testified against Diddy. And you know what? Even though there's not a crime being a freak. There's not a crime being a slut. But when you putting shit in people's drink, when you give them a Cosby, when you give a motherfucker a Cosby, you know what I'm saying? A Cosby collagen.
Cosby collagen.
When you give a motherfucker a Cosby collagen, you know what I'm saying? There's a problem with that because they're not under their own will. And they wake up somewhere else, but he was doing it to dudes. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that niggas was fucking niggas like that. And it was cool. What's so cool about a nigga's ass? A nigga's ass is hot. Ain't nothing cool about it. It's probably hot back there. You know what I'm saying? They could be shedding and shit. You know what I mean?
Got a lot of swass.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. I don't give a fuck how much tissue you use. Your ass still got doo-doo stains in it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta come straight out the shower, and your shower gotta have a spray utensil, but you gotta like a boudet,
A boudet.
when you gotta go in there, but if Cassie's a freak, she's a freak. But Diddy had a right to beat the shit out of her like that. You know what I mean? I bet you don't do that to real niggas and shit like that. You come out in this town and his flip-flops and kicking bitches in the fucking ribs and shit. Who the fuck do you think you are, Diddy? Who the fuck do you think? I'm a billionaire snub. Who the fuck do you think you are? I live from check to check, yeah.
You think he should go to jail for the rest of his life?
Yes. He should be. But he gonna get pardoned. Trump's gonna let him out.
But you think the sentence should be life in jail?
Is he worse than... Well, it's disingenuous to answer a question with a question. So I'm going to answer your question. Should he spend the rest of his life in jail? He should if he drugged and raped people. Yes, he should. Is R. Kelly going to spend the rest of his life in jail?
Looks that way.
But he didn't drug nobody. He just raped them. You know?
And he was underage. It's a couple of other charges.
Look at Harvey Weinstein,
He gonna spend the rest of his life in jail?
Well, he only got like he got one foot in the grave and one on the banana peel. With his old ass.
Oh shit.
But you know what? I have a different outlook at Cassidy after this whole thing happened. You know what I'm saying? She's a fucking slut. You know what I mean? And he slutted her out. That's what he did. He slutted her out. If that was my girl, I couldn't slut my girl out. Especially a woman that I really care for. You know what I'm saying? So he obviously didn't care for her. Because you don't slut bitches out that you care for. When a nigga be like, you know what, can I have a piece of your candy? You know what I mean? You're like, yeah, man, go ahead, go in the back, you know what I'm saying, and fuck dude. You know what I mean? You don't respect your woman that way, y'all. I had the pleasure of having the lovely Karen on my show last week. Oh my God, it was phenomenal. And when I had on my show, she was kind of impartial to a few things that I said. Now, and a lot of them weren't partial with the feedback that I had. Now, let's start off with this. It's not a fair deal. What's a fair deal? Let's start off with a fair deal. Okay, so if you're 20 years old and a woman, and you have a baby by a man you didn't marry. Now, I'm not talking about Karen because Karen was married. Shouts out to you. You found the sucker. Okay? Now,
Damn.
you know, but you know what? You did. Now, you know, I was being facetious. You know, but and then you know the woman goes like, you know what? Now she's 27 years old, and the kid is like 6, and she meets a man, and the man doesn't have any children. You know, and should she be overlooked for a woman with no kids? What would you say, Steve?
If she married a man at 20 and
No, I didn't say she married. You know what I'm saying? I was talking.
She didn't marry.
She had a kid out of wedlock.
At 20.
She was young and dumb.
Okay.
She just made a mistake.
Got it.
She chose to have the kid.
Got it.
She's 27 years old.
Now.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
She didn't finish college, but she has a trade. Probably what? Nurse. Okay. What they usually do is wipe up niggas' shit. Okay. So, you know. So she's a nurse now. And there's a man, and, you know, I'm not talking about like the pretty woman and shit, you know, and he take the whole...
I get it, same age, but they both 27? No, one got a kid, one don't?
No, she's 27, he's 34. He don't have any kids.
And you said, should I overlook her for...
He's looking to start his family. You know what I'm saying? Would you choose... She like, you know what, I'm just as valuable as a woman without a kid.
That's not true to... I mean... in her circle, or it may be true to her, but for men looking to, like you said, in the scenario you use, a man looking to start a family is not looking for a woman that has a child already. I think that's pretty...
But I made a mistake. I was young and dumb.
It's not, and it's other people that can match that mistake, or other people that have a children. Like you might meet a man that has a grown child. You know what I'm saying? Is y'all both have a child, and he's looking to start a family, and he made a mistake, and he started. You know what I mean? Like, but it's... People that I don't I just speak for me personally. That wouldn't work for me.
So you would you take a woman seriously that had a kid that was young, or would you just fuck her, or would you court her? Would you court her for marriage?
Me personally, no, because like I said, like it depends. I think men that are in that same situation and can identify with her situation as their own, or see some similarities in it, can give her a pass. But if I didn't make those same mistakes she made in life, or if I could sympathize with her or empathize with her, but I'm not.
Don't be that like Steve.
I'm definitely not trying to start my family with somebody that did that.
Just and this, you know, I had a conversation with one of my good friends, the lovely Kedra. What's up, Kedra? What's up, baby? Love you, baby. You know, you know what I'm saying? Shouts out to you. You know, and I wanted to see how partial she was. She gave me a lot of feedback about the Mother's Day show. You know, and I asked her a question just to see what was going on. And the question that I asked her was, I was like, you know, and she was like, yeah, just because a woman have a kid and whatever. I said, if your son is an attorney, he's about to be just past the bar, he's 31 years old and successful. He's about to be successful. He's about to do everything you want him to do as a son. And he has a girl with 2 kids, 2 baby daddies. That's 24, and he brings her to you. Yeah, your son brings her to you. And he's like, you know what, Mom?
It's the one.
I love her. She's the bee's knees. She's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Where he can find a woman with no kids and start his own life with. Obviously, both the men that she had kids with didn't choose her.
What did
No Show. Ooh.